Have you ever stopped to think how many times in your life you've heard that fruit is always healthy? How many mornings have you woken up thinking you were doing your body good by eating that sweet fruit at breakfast, without questioning whether it was truly contributing to your health or perhaps working against you? Allow me to share something I discovered after decades studying longevity and observing people who reach their 80s and 90s with enviable vitality. There's a secret that few know about fruits. Knowledge that can make the difference between aging with energy or dragging your feet through your final years. I remember Carmen, an 85-year-old woman I met during one of my research studies. She walked 5 miles every day, had radiant skin, and energy that made people 40 years younger envious. When I asked her secret, she smiled and said, "Doctor, I learned to choose my battles, including with the fruits I eat." At that moment, I didn't fully understand what she meant. Today, after years of study, I comprehend the depth of that wisdom. You see, my dear friend, after 50, our body is no longer the same resilient youth that forgave our dietary slip-ups. Metabolism slows down, our ability to process sugars diminishes, and our sensitivity to inflammation increases considerably. Think about it for a moment. When you were 25, you could eat a large bowl of grapes before bed and wake up feeling wonderful. But now that same bowl might leave you feeling sluggish, with joint stiffness, or even disrupt your sleep. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Your body is speaking to you, trying to guide you toward choices that will serve your longevity. The truth that the food industry doesn't want you to know is this: not all fruits are created equal when it comes to aging gracefully. Some fruits, despite their natural origin, can accelerate inflammation, spike your blood sugar dangerously, and even contribute to that stubborn weight that seems impossible to lose after 50. Meanwhile, other fruits become your most powerful allies in the fight against time. I've spent the last 15 years studying the dietary patterns of people who not only live long but thrive in their later years. What I discovered will surprise you. The healthiest seniors I've encountered, those who maintain sharp minds, strong bones, and vibrant energy well into their 80s and beyond, have one thing in common. They've learned to be incredibly selective about their fruit choices. This isn't about deprivation or following another restrictive diet. This is about understanding your body's changing needs and honoring them with intelligence and compassion. It's about recognizing that the choices you make today in your 50s, 60s, and beyond will determine whether your 70s and 80s are filled with vitality or limited by preventable health issues. Tonight, I want to share with you the 7 fruits that might be sabotaging your health after 50. Fruits that well-meaning family members, outdated nutritional advice, and even some healthcare providers still recommend. More importantly, I'll reveal the 7 fruits that should become your daily companions, your allies in the journey toward a longer, healthier, more energetic life. These aren't exotic superfoods you'll need to hunt down in specialty stores. These are accessible, affordable choices that can transform how you feel within weeks of making the switch. I've seen people reverse years of fatigue, reduce chronic pain, and reclaim energy they thought was lost forever, simply by making these intelligent fruit substitutions. By the end of our time together, you'll possess knowledge that took me decades to accumulate. You'll understand why your body responds differently to certain fruits now than it did in your younger years, and you'll have a clear roadmap for making choices that support your longevity rather than undermine it. The first deception: when sweet becomes dangerous. Let me tell you about Robert, a 58-year-old gentleman I met 3 years ago. Every morning he would proudly tell me he started his day with a large glass of orange juice and a banana. "I'm getting my vitamins," he'd say with conviction. Robert was doing what millions of people over 50 do every day, following advice that might have served them well at 30 but was quietly undermining their health at nearly 60. You see, Robert was experiencing what I call the sweet deception. He believed that because these fruits were natural, they couldn't possibly harm him. But here's what Robert didn't understand, and what most people don't realize. After 50, your body's relationship with sugar, even natural fruit sugar, changes dramatically. When we're young, our cells are like eager puppies, ready to gobble up glucose from our bloodstream and convert it to energy efficiently. But as we age, this process becomes sluggish. The technical term is insulin resistance, but I prefer to think of it as your cells becoming more discerning about what they'll accept. Unfortunately, when glucose can't enter your cells efficiently, it doesn't just disappear. It gets stored as fat, particularly around your midsection, and creates inflammation throughout your body. The first fruit you need to seriously reconsider is the banana. I know. Bananas have been the poster child of healthy eating for decades. They're convenient, affordable, and seem so innocent. But here's the reality. A medium banana contains approximately 27 grams of sugar and ranks high on the glycemic index, meaning it spikes your blood sugar faster than some candy bars. After 50, this sugar spike triggers a cascade of inflammatory responses in your body. Your pancreas works overtime to produce insulin, your energy crashes within 2 hours, and your body starts storing that excess sugar as visceral fat, the dangerous kind that surrounds your organs. But the banana isn't alone in this category of fruits that become problematic after 50. Pineapple, with its 16 grams of sugar per cup and its ability to trigger inflammation in sensitive individuals, often becomes a source of joint pain and digestive discomfort. Grapes, those seemingly innocent little orbs, pack a concentrated sugar punch that can leave you feeling tired and craving more sweets within hours. Mangoes, despite their exotic appeal and vitamin content, contain enough sugar to rival a dessert, approximately 23 grams per cup. For someone over 50 dealing with slower metabolism and decreased insulin sensitivity, this is like pouring gasoline on a fire. Cherries, while beautiful and antioxidant-rich, can be particularly problematic for people over 50 due to their high sugar content and potential to trigger gout attacks in susceptible individuals. Watermelon, despite being mostly water, has a surprisingly high glycemic index that can cause rapid blood sugar spikes. The seventh fruit that often surprises people is dried fruit of any kind. Dates, raisins, dried cranberries, these concentrated sugar bombs can contain 4 to 8 times the sugar of their fresh counterparts. What used to be a handful of grapes becomes a massive sugar load when dried, and your over 50 body simply cannot handle this onslaught gracefully. Here's what happens when you remove these high-sugar fruits from your daily routine. Within 2 weeks, most people notice their energy becomes more stable throughout the day. The afternoon crashes disappear, the cravings for sweets diminish, joint pain often decreases, and that stubborn belly weight begins to shift. But removing problematic fruits is only half the equation. The real magic happens when you replace them with the right choices. The 7 guardians of longevity. Now, let me introduce you to what I call the 7 guardians of longevity. Fruits that become more valuable, not less, as we age. These aren't just foods. They're medicine disguised as delicious treats. The first guardian is the humble avocado. Yes, avocado is technically a fruit, and it should become your daily companion after 50. Unlike high-sugar fruits, avocados provide healthy monounsaturated fats that your aging brain desperately needs. These fats help reduce inflammation, support cognitive function, and help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins more effectively. I remember Maria, a 67-year-old artist who complained of brain fog and fatigue. When she started eating half an avocado daily, replacing her morning banana, she noticed her mental clarity returning within 3 weeks. The healthy fats in avocados support the production of hormones that decline with age and help maintain the integrity of cell membranes throughout your body. The second guardian is berries, but not just any berries. Blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries are powerhouses of antioxidants with relatively low sugar content. A cup of blueberries contains only 15 grams of sugar, compared to the 27 grams in that banana we discussed. But more importantly, the anthocyanins in dark berries have been shown to improve memory, reduce inflammation, and even help reverse some aspects of cognitive decline. Strawberries deserve special mention here. They're lower in sugar than most fruits and packed with vitamin C and folate. For people over 50 who need more support for immune function and cellular repair, strawberries become an important ally. The third guardian might surprise you: lemons and limes. These citrus fruits are so low in sugar that they barely register on the glycemic index, yet they're packed with vitamin C and compounds that support liver detoxification. something that becomes increasingly important as we age. And our body's natural detoxification processes slow down. Apples, but only certain varieties, make the Guardian list. Granny Smith apples, in particular, are lower in sugar than other varieties and high in fiber and polyphenols. The key with apples is eating them with the skin and pairing them with a source of healthy fat or protein to slow sugar absorption. Tomatoes, often forgotten as fruits, are the fifth guardian. They're extremely low in sugar and high in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that supports prostate health in men and has been linked to reduced risk of several cancers common in people over 50. The sixth guardian is pomegranate, not the juice, but the actual seeds. Pomegranate seeds provide antioxidants without the concentrated sugar load of the juice. The compounds in pomegranate have been shown to support heart health and may help reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Finally, the seventh guardian is kiwi fruit. This small, unassuming fruit packs more vitamin C than an orange, provides digestive enzymes that become increasingly important as we age, and has a lower glycemic impact than most sweet fruits. The inflammation connection. Why your body rebels. Let me share something that might change how you think about the aches and pains you've accepted as normal aging. 3 years ago, I met James, a 62-year-old retired teacher who had resigned himself to daily joint pain and stiffness. He took ibuprofen regularly, had given up his morning walks, and told his wife he felt like he was falling apart. James's story illustrates something profound that happens after 50. Your body's inflammatory response changes. What once caused minimal inflammation now creates a cascade of inflammatory markers that affect everything from your joints to your brain to your cardiovascular system. Here's what James didn't know, and what most people don't understand. High sugar. Fruits can be significant contributors to chronic inflammation in people over 50. When your blood sugar spikes repeatedly throughout the day, from that morning banana, afternoon grapes, and evening mango, your body produces inflammatory compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Think of AGEs as rust forming inside your body. They damage proteins, accelerate aging, and contribute to the stiffness and pain that many people accept as inevitable. But here's the hopeful truth. This process is largely preventable and even reversible through intelligent food choices. When James eliminated high-sugar fruits and replaced them with the guardian fruits I mentioned, something remarkable happened. Within 6 weeks, his morning stiffness decreased significantly. After 3 months, he was back to taking daily walks and had reduced his ibuprofen use by 75%. The mechanism is elegant in its simplicity. Lower sugar fruits don't trigger the same inflammatory cascade. Fruits rich in antioxidants and healthy fats actively combat inflammation. Your body, freed from the constant burden of processing excess sugar, can redirect its energy toward repair and maintenance. But inflammation isn't just about joint pain. Chronic inflammation is linked to nearly every age-related disease. Heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, certain cancers, and accelerated aging of the skin and organs. By choosing anti-inflammatory fruits over pro-inflammatory ones, you're not just addressing symptoms, you're targeting the root cause of many age-related health issues. The beautiful irony is that the guardian fruits I mentioned don't just avoid causing inflammation, they actively fight it. The healthy fats in avocados reduce inflammatory markers. The anthocyanins in berries actively combat oxidative stress. The lycopene in tomatoes protects against cellular damage. This is why people who make these switches often report benefits that extend far beyond what they expected. They start to sleep better, think more clearly, have more stable energy, and simply feel more like themselves again. The energy equation: stable power versus sugar crashes. There's something I want you to understand about energy that most people get backwards, especially after 50. We've been taught that sugar provides quick energy, and therefore fruit sugar should make us feel energetic. But I've observed thousands of people over the years, and I can tell you this: the people with the most consistent, sustained energy are not the ones eating high-sugar fruits. Let me tell you about Dorothy, a 71-year-old grandmother who came to me exhausted. She would start each day feeling optimistic, eat what she thought was a healthy breakfast, including fruit, and by 10 a.m. she'd be ready for a nap. By afternoon, she was dragging herself through activities she used to enjoy. "I feel like I'm running on empty all the time," she told me. Dorothy's pattern is incredibly common among people over 50, and it's directly related to what I call the sugar roller coaster. Here's what happens. You eat high-sugar fruit, your blood sugar spikes rapidly, your pancreas releases a flood of insulin to manage that sugar, and then your blood sugar crashes below where it started. This crash triggers fatigue, brain fog, irritability, and cravings for more sugar. But your 50-plus body handles this cycle much more poorly than your younger body did. Your insulin response becomes less efficient, meaning higher peaks and lower valleys. Your adrenal glands, already working harder due to age-related hormone changes, become overtaxed trying to manage these energy swings. When Dorothy replaced her morning banana and orange juice with half an avocado and a handful of berries, something shifted. The healthy fats from the avocado provided steady, long-burning fuel. The low-sugar berries gave her antioxidants without the spike. Within 2 weeks, she reported feeling like myself again, steady energy from morning until evening. This is the energy equation that changes everything after 50. Stable blood sugar equals stable energy. The guardian fruits provide sustained fuel because they don't trigger the insulin roller coaster. They give your body what it needs to produce energy at the cellular level without the crash that follows. Consider the difference. A banana might give you a quick burst of energy, but it's followed by a crash that leaves you more tired than before. An avocado provides steady fuel that your brain and muscles can use for hours without the dramatic ups and downs. The berries I mentioned, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, provide gentle natural sugars balanced with fiber that slows absorption. Your blood sugar rises gradually and stays stable, providing consistent energy without the crash. This understanding transforms how you approach food after 50. Instead of seeking quick fixes and sugar hits, you start choosing foods that support sustained vitality. You begin to work with your body's changing needs rather than against them. Can you imagine starting tomorrow morning with energy that doesn't abandon you by mid-morning? Can you envision afternoons where you don't need caffeine or sugar just to function? This isn't wishful thinking. It's the natural result of making intelligent fruit choices that honor your body's current reality. As I sit here reflecting on the thousands of people I've had the privilege to guide through their journey of aging gracefully, I'm reminded of something profound. The choices you make today, at 50, 60, 70, or beyond, still matter tremendously. Your body is not a machine that's simply wearing down. It's a remarkable system capable of renewal, repair, and vitality when given the right support. I think about Carmen, who at 85 still walks 5 miles daily. I remember Robert, who transformed his energy and health simply by changing his morning fruit choices. I see Dorothy, who reclaimed her vitality by understanding how her body had changed and honoring those changes with wisdom. These aren't extraordinary people with exceptional genetics or unlimited resources. They're individuals who learned to listen to their bodies and make intelligent choices based on their current reality, not outdated advice or wishful thinking. The 7 fruits to eliminate. Bananas, pineapple, grapes, mangoes, cherries, watermelon, and dried fruits aren't inherently evil. They simply don't serve your body's needs after 50. They trigger inflammation, create energy instability, and work against your goal of aging with grace and vitality. The 7 guardian fruits, avocados, berries, lemons, and limes, certain apples, tomatoes, pomegranate seeds, and kiwi, become your allies. They provide sustained energy, fight inflammation, support cognitive function, and honor your body's changing needs. But here's what I want you to understand most deeply. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about making one better choice at a time, with compassion for yourself and respect for the incredible journey your body has already taken you on. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start with your morning fruit choice. Replace that banana with half an avocado. Swap those grapes for a handful of blueberries. Notice how you feel. Pay attention to your energy levels, your mental clarity, any changes in joint comfort or sleep quality. Your body is constantly communicating with you, and after 50, those communications become more urgent and important. The stiffness in your joints, the afternoon energy crashes, the brain fog, the difficulty losing weight. These aren't inevitable aspects of aging. They're often your body's way of asking for different choices. I want to leave you with this truth that I've witnessed over and over. It's never too late to feel better. I've seen people in their 70s reclaim energy they thought was gone forever. I've watched individuals in their 80s reduce chronic pain and increase their activity levels simply by making intelligent food choices. The power is in your hands, literally every time you reach for a piece of fruit. You can choose foods that accelerate aging and inflammation, or you can choose foods that support longevity and vitality. The difference is now clear to you. Your future self, the person you'll be in 5, 10, 20 years, is counting on the choices you make today. That person deserves to wake up with energy, to move without pain, to think clearly, and to engage with life fully. You have the knowledge now to give that gift to your future self. So tomorrow morning, when you open your refrigerator and reach for fruit, remember this conversation. Remember that you're not just choosing a snack, you're choosing your future. Choose wisely, choose with love for yourself, and choose with the understanding that you deserve to thrive at every age. The journey of aging gracefully isn't about fighting time. It's about dancing with it, honoring your body's wisdom, and making choices that support the remarkable person you are and the even more remarkable person you're becoming.